Hi everyone, and welcome to my reaction to Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Now, for those of you that don't know, I was not at all a fan of Daredevil Born Again Season 1. In fact, you can check out my versus video of Daredevil Born Again Season 1 when compared to the original 3 Netflix series, and you'll see what my problems were. So, my expectations are as low as could possibly be with this season. I really did not take kindly to it. The difference here, however, is that whereas Daredevil Born Again Season 1 was very much a Frankenstein's monster of a show, because originally it was intended to be a rebooted show with a couple of the same actors, but most of the actors were going to be recast, except for Daredevil and Kingpin. And they shot about 9 episodes of it, and it was meant to be a PG-13 Law and Order style show, and it was meant to be like 18 episodes or something crazy like that. And after they shot like 9 or 10 episodes, they realized it wasn't working, and then they cancelled it, and they retooled the show. And rather than getting in new showrunners and saying, here, start again from scratch, instead what Disney told them was, use what we have shot, and then we'll let you reshoot some R-rated stuff, and then merge it together. And that resulted in what I call a Frankenstein's monster of a season, because you could just tell that a lot of it was intended to be PG-13, and then the R-rated stuff was reshoots, because it just didn't feel organically woven together. And for some reason, the showrunner for Born Again decided to compare it to The Penguin, saying that they were cleaner with their storytelling, which was just nonsense. The Penguin is far superior to Daredevil Born Again Season 1, plus it's just not fair to compare Born Again Season 1 to The Penguin, because The Penguin was intended to be an R-rated show from the very beginning, and they had their scripts ready and perfectly written to a T. Then they went into production. Born Again Season 1 clearly did not have that, so I don't know why that guy decided to even compare it to The Penguin. It wasn't even on the same level. The only upside to Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is that now they get to work on the show and write it from scratch. They don't have to work with a PG-13 version of it like they did with Season 1. So this is all hands on deck now, and this will really show if they are good writers to begin with, and if they can make a good show on their own. So hopefully they get this right. Me, however, my expectations are still rock bottom, and I don't know how they could be any lower, so they better do a good job with this. If not, it's all on them, and it just goes to show that they were not the right people to be taking on this project, and that they should have gotten the creators of the original Netflix Daredevil to come in and continue the story instead. Before we get started though, if you want to watch this reaction uncut, then head on over to my Patreon, where you can watch uncut trailer reactions, uncut reactions to movies and TV shows, although you will have to bring your own copy and synchronize it with my reaction, then we can all watch it together. And also you can gain access to my private Discord server, amongst many other things. So if that sounds good to you, then be sure to head on over to my Patreon. It helps keep the channel going, allows me to do what I love full time, and you'll also get a ton of extra content as a result. If you don't want to though, that's perfectly fine. I hope you enjoyed this video on YouTube. So with that said, let's get this episode started. Here we go. Watch and listen to the official companion podcast available on Disney Plus. I didn't know they were putting ads at the beginning of these episodes on Disney Plus, seriously.
You want me to kill someone?
Foggy Nelson.
No one liked how they killed Foggy off. Right at the beginning of the bloody season, too.
Why do you think I'm here? Not everything I write is under my name. So if you ever want to put anything real out there...
Man, I really don't like the cinematography they went with in this season. Looking at this previously on, it's just reminding me of all of it. Such flat shots. I will say, the anti-vigilante task force, it's like it almost predicted ICE. So, good on them for that. That's one thing they were ahead of the times with. Is he changing his costume right at the beginning of this? Because at the end, he had his red costume. I didn't think he would switch to the black one so quickly. How did that happen? I'm not impressed with that opening. The way the punches were happening, you could see that they were doing like weird editing cuts at a point when it was just a punch. I don't know why they had to do a cut there. Also, the arm breaking thing looked too cheap. I wasn't impressed with the way that looked. Some of the cinematography was good, but then they would mix it with cinematography that looked kind of cheap. I'm not that impressed, and the execution of all of that was nowhere near as good as it could have been. That actually was pretty awful, the way how that whole ship crash happened. the way it sunk, and then him getting out, poorly done. So I'm not impressed by that opening. By the way, I'm guessing Foggy does come back. That's my guess in this season.
Kind of counting on it, Miss Page.
Oh, so I guess they've gotten rid of the whole Frank Castle love triangle thing, which is good because that was stupid to begin with.
I don't care what he needs to do. Lockdowns, task force, throw the book at him, whatever. If these animals can do something like that, what's next?
I mean, they're in New York. A lot of stuff has happened in the MCU in New York. You know, normally the guy's supposed to walk away and then she's supposed to go and get it. They're not supposed to both be seen like that opposite each other. Imagine if cameras caught that.
I know the law, Dr. Glenn.
Oh, is she scarred?
Anything?
No, nothing, nada.
He's kept them out of the loop. Good. I don't want them in the loop either.
I'm surprised to see you out here so publicly.
Yeah, it's important. The ship, the Northern Star.
Oh, so Matt's keeping him in the loop.
Do you try to be abrasive? Is it part of your tradecraft?
I am what I am, Mrs. Fisk.
Matthew Lillard really stands out compared to everyone else, have you noticed? One thing I'm noticing is that, just like with Daredevil Born Again Season 1, it keeps cutting and switching between stuff so quickly.
Type shit.
No, it's
We should be surprised that she's meeting Ben Urich's niece here, but we just don't care. Like, it didn't even occur to me, and I just don't care about it.
I'm pretty sure Ben died to save me.
I don't recall her being at the funeral. Is that another green screen background? When they're walking forward, or is that the volume is what it looks like?
Good. We need more people making trouble for Fisk, especially with the vigilante trials coming up.
Teaching us some self-defense is good.
Hey!
Sorry.
See, I like that they're saying that she can't keep up because she's still practicing. So they have improved there, because with Disney's previous mindset, they'll say that she does better than him or doesn't need any of his training. You know, that kind of nonsense. Here, at least she's training and she doesn't know how to get anywhere near his level because he was speeding up and she was stopping.
Ήταν ένας άντρας που περνούσε από το σκούπι του Τενεκέ.
Κάνε του ένα πιάτο.
Bullseye, I'm guessing.
Είμαι ο Χριστοφής. Χριστοφής Σάβας.
Oh no.
I can do this all night.
Yeah, you hit like a kid.
Do you notice all that CGI blood that was being spat out of him?
Jerry, your heart.
Let's see if they can do a good action scene this time.
Sure could take a punch.
Holy shit.
I knew they were going to die. They couldn't survive this episode knowing who he is. Ah, Bullseye. I expect better from Matt, though, for him to go down like that. And now we're ending the episode. Let's see, is there any credit scene that comes? That action scene was so freaking sloppy in the way it was directed. I am never going to be watching that action scene again, nor the action scene in the intro. Even the first season of Daredevil Born Again had better action than this. They're not editing it well, and they're not framing it well either. They need to really get their shit together with the action scenes, because it was awful here. Yeah, basically, we got another episode, and it was exactly the kind of crap that I was hoping that Daredevil Born Again Season 2 would avoid becoming. I was hoping Season 2 would be better, but after watching that, it's not better. It's just the same old crap that you got from the previous season. The action was crap. I thought the way that it was structured and the way it was switching between the various different characters, it felt very slow, but it also felt like it was just very quickly rushing past things. It felt like the story didn't really get going in this first episode like it should have. Everything felt very slow. Even the scenes with Kingpin and Fisk, it felt very low energy. And all these characters that were introduced in Daredevil Born Again Season 1, I just don't care. Like Ben Urich's niece, who was talking to Karen, you should care about something like this because Karen was really close with Ben Urich, so for her to meet his niece, it should mean something. There should be an impact. But there was no impact. And when it wasn't doing close-up shots of them, it looked like they were on the volume, and they weren't using it right. And that's the thing that I talk about with a lot of Marvel's shots. Even in the new Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, there's too many, like, just boring medium shots where everything looks very flat. They got too much of that going on. I don't know why Marvel really keep doing that. They need to stop that and go back to some good old-fashioned cinematography, because this was not it. Basically, this episode, everything from the action, the pacing, the acting was decent, but the writing was not great. This was just a very boring, crappy... It felt like a filler episode. It didn't feel like much happened in the first episode here. And considering that the show is supposed to have just 8 episodes, that's not too many episodes. They should be doing plenty with each one. For that to be the first, and for them to only release 1 episode this week, that is a very, very poor start. Very poor. So that episode gets a 3 out of 10. I did not like it really at all, and it didn't even get the action good. Daredevil's got a new black suit. It felt too quick to give him the black suit, especially seeing as he had the red suit at the end of season 1, and he barely wore that red suit. So to now go to the black suit, it just feels like I missed that red suit. I want him to go back to the red suit. I don't want the black suit so quickly. It just feels like they did not pace this right. Like, the first episode to this should show a lot of what's going on with Fisk. I'm surprised people are saying, yeah, cool, crime is down. Like, how is it down exactly? And they're happy about it. There's just less vigilantes out there, so it means the bad guys are able to do more bad things, is what it ultimately means. They've not really shown us how is the city a better place, except for just showing a few people on BB's podcast or news or whatever, saying that, oh, the world's a better place. Is it really? Like, how? And how bad was it before that now this is good in comparison? Because remember, they're in the MCU now. So a lot of superheroes were protecting the city, not to mention that Peter Parker, as Spider-Man, we see in the upcoming Brand New Day, he's been given the key to the city. So he's clearly been around doing a lot of good after the whole world has forgotten who Peter Parker is. So he's done a lot. So why are they now thinking, yeah, get rid of the vigilantes? Like, what? This world building is not consistent. So I do not like what I've seen this episode so far. It is just exactly what you expect from the crappy Disney version of Daredevil. So yeah, 3 out of 10. And we'll have to see what the next episode is like if it improves. I've heard people say that episode 4 is where it improves, but that's not good. The episode should come out swinging from episode 1, not episode 4. So yeah, for me, as you can tell, it was bringing back a lot of old feelings. I wasn't very happy with what was going on this episode. I didn't like the quality control, really. I didn't like the writing. The action was awful. But let me know what you thought. Do you see this as an improvement over Daredevil Born Again Season 1? Or do you see it what I see, that this was not a good debut episode for Season 2. If you're watching this on YouTube, my reaction for Episode 2 and beyond is probably already up on my Patreon, but you'll get to watch my reaction to Episode 2 right now. Okay, we're about to watch Episode 2. Before we do though, something interesting happened. Disney released Episodes 2 and 3 this week, and the reason I think they did that is because I think they just want to get past the mediocre episodes and get people to watching the really good ones. Because I think they probably fear that people will drop off of the show if episodes 2 and 3 are just as mid, or in my opinion, crap, as episode 1 was. So I think that's why they're dropping episodes 2 and 3 in 1 week. And that just means that we get to watch more episodes. So yeah. So with that said, let's get to watching episode 2 and see if it's any better than episode 1.
Who in my staff is loyal and who is not?
They really seem to fear showing blood on the previous Leon, don't they? This is twice they've not shown that commissioner get his jaw ripped off. Oh no, not her. Oh, I really did not like her in the previous season. Dee Dee. We know who that is. Dexter's sister. Oh yeah, Cherry. Does anyone care about Cherry? I'm curious. Even if you like him as a character, would you care if he died? He was so poorly introduced in the first season, and now it's like we're supposed to care about him, and I just don't. That's a cool shot. I like how the DD on his chest is like glowing with the lights. That's actually pretty cool.
There are none who works here. Sister Maggie, I think.
Oh, good. Finally, Sister Maggie.
Yes, she's on a sabbatical year in Rome.
Damn it! They written her out.
I'm not too picky.
Why do they keep changing the color with him? They did this in season 1 as well.
I thought you were tougher than that. Maybe you should.
That was weird. Where'd all that blood come from? You get what I'm talking about? I say the editing is weird. I actually was praising the filmmaking here, saying the shot looked good. Confusing color change on Bullseye again. And then he just punches him against the wall. There's all that blood. Where did that blood come from? Did he get stabbed in the back? If so, how come we didn't see that? It's a weird edit, that. That's something I'm noticing with these episodes, is that the editing is weird this season. It wasn't the best in the first season either, but I don't remember it being this bad right off the bat.
Right, but he doesn't want me dead.
I don't give a shit. He killed Foggy.
Yep.
Those task force psychos put a bullet in his head.
Karen, that's not helpful.
I imagine you feel the same.
I feel the same.
Because Matt Murdock is...
He's not going to call him Daredevil.
a hero.
Ooh.
He risked his life to save mine.
Is he going to bring a lot of attention on him?
He could be hurt.
Oh, trying to find him.
Let's bring this hero home.
That's clever.
Look around. What are they resisting? I've been here 30 years. New York has never been this great.
30 years? Have you forgotten about the first Avengers movie, you dumb...
Oh, cool.
Look at these guys still wearing the Punisher symbol on their chest.
Hey, don't sweat it. How?
Nice. Bullseye. Is he dishing out Punisher justice here? Why do they keep changing the color blue when he shows up? I don't get what they're doing here.
Have you ever been in the same room with Benjamin Poindexter?
No, Mom.
I have.
It's funny how originally this show was meant to make you just forget all about what happened before, but now they're making a lot of references to the Netflix series to say, no, this is a true continuation. At this point, I feel like saying just pick an aspect ratio. They keep changing it so much.
More good than just New York.
How many more worlds do you need to conquer?
How many are there?
I was going to say something similar, and he actually said that.
I gotta get into the port.
No. No, Matt, it's suicide.
It's our only shot at Fisk. We might not get another.
Oh, so he's actually going to go in now. The action scene we didn't get at the end of season 1, it's like we're going to probably get it now.
Your Theo Hector would have never put on that white tiger mask.
Oh, so she has an aunt. They finally show her. I said in season 1 that she was just going around in all this dangerous streets on her own without a mother/aunt. Who this is, I forgot.
Hold him down.
That's assaulting an officer.
No, get off of her!
That is just like real life, that is. So again, good on them on this show for predicting this or getting ahead of it. Okay, look, I care about this situation. But as far as these characters go, what is that Angela's mother/aunt? I don't really care about them. Maybe if we got more development, more than just a scene, that would have helped me care for this scene more. Or I should say these characters more.
Is my husband overworking you?
No. Not really. Vigilante trials.
As therapist, shouldn't she know about Fisk's history? Especially what happened with Nadine.
To get into the head of...
Whoa. Go on, shoot Vanessa. I'm actually rooting for him to take her out because she's the one that had Foggy killed. Oh yeah, McDuffie. Again, I don't care about McDuffie either. A lot of these newer characters I'm not caring about in this Born Again series.
What happened? They took her. They took my dear. Oh, come here, honey. I'm so...
The way they took her mother is very much also how they take little children's parents in the Middle East. If you see these videos, for so many years that's been happening. So it's only just now happening here in with ICE and everything. But it's a really old thing that's been going on for a long time, sadly.
I had no clue about the wine, but it was expensive, so hopefully it's good.
That logic. Expensive, so hopefully it should be good.
You did the right thing, Sheila. Can I walk you out?
Yeah.
If you are leaking stuff, just stop, please.
This place was alive for a long time.
They made it seem like something was going to happen in that scene. Is that it? Those two scenes over? Uh-oh. Unless it's Bullseye. And it's not the Vigilante Task Force.
Angie. Jesse. What's going on?
Fisk is hunting.
Ah, they're giving an update.
And look at how safe I'm making it! Rounding up all...
It'd be fun if this is a big reveal, whoever's pretending to be him. Like, imagine if Peter Parker ended up doing this, because he's in New York as well. I don't think they're going to do Peter Parker, of course, but you know what I mean. Oh, they're going to reveal who this is now. I was expecting some kind of big reveal later. Prepare to be surprised or to prepare to be disappointed, I guess. Let's see. Is that what I think it is, or is that a different character altogether?
On my mark.
Now they're messing with the aspect ratios like crazy. Even more.
Hey, 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 hey.
That's cool. Weird editing cut again there. That was a better action scene though, I think. But it's still so short. Make him longer. That's funny. Fisk you. That was a better action scene, I'll say that, for sure. Still could have been a lot better, but it was better. Oh, she did survive. Would have been interesting if she didn't make it. Like, you know, the fighting that she's been learning has not benefited her properly yet.
I have something to show you.
What?
They're hunting us. Maybe it's time we started hunting them.
Oh. Oh, so she managed to capture him too. You know what? That was a much better episode. It still wasn't great. I still think there's problems. The editing is a problem. There's still an issue with the pacing. They make it feel like some big things are about to happen, then they cut to something else. And that happened twice in this episode. The first time was when Matt said near the ship that they were in at night, near the docks. He says, I'm gonna go in there. And she's like, it's a suicide mission. He goes, have to do it now, otherwise we can't get Fisk. I thought that meant now. I didn't know that meant we're gonna have to come back later. So they need to sort of like verbalize that better. So I don't think they did that properly. I think when that happened, I was expecting something to happen there and then. It didn't. And that was not very good. Then they just go to dancing, they go to speaking and calm and like drinking and having like calmer scenes. That felt off. The second thing that felt off is when that kid was having that date with BB. Well, that wasn't really a date, you know what I mean. And he was telling her that, is it you, are you leaking stuff? And then the way it cut between him and Fisk and Sheila, I was expecting something big to happen there. That's usually what happens when they do cutbacks back and forth. But nothing big happened, and that scene was over just like that. And it just felt weird. It's like, what happened to the conversation after? Did they just go back to normal after that? Was it awkward? It's like they just cut away from these scenes too quickly. The action scene we got at the end as well, much better than what we got in the last episode, but still, it's not capturing the quality of what we expect from the action scenes in the previous seasons of Daredevil from Netflix. So that I still think is an issue. There's still some cheap cinematography and visuals, but I thought the visuals were more consistently good in this episode than they were the previous one. And they're better here than they were in the previous season of Daredevil Born Again too, so that was good. Ultimately, it felt like something was happening in this episode. The plot is moving forward in terms of Daredevil planning stuff and Fisk planning stuff. You can tell they're leading to something, so that's good in this first episode that they're doing that. So I like this episode much better. It's not a 3 out of 10 like the first episode at all, but it's still not great. So right now my instincts on a score for this episode are leaning to either a high 6 out of 10 or a low 7. I'm going to say a high 6 because I still expect better from Daredevil, and I still think they're really falling short where they should be excelling, because technically this is Daredevil Season 5 because they've now said that they're making the original series canon. If they're making it canon, you expect these action scenes to be getting better and better, but I feel like they've really declined with the previous season, and they really declined with the first episode of this season, and although this one was much better, it's still nowhere near the heights of what the action was able to achieve in the original 3 seasons on Netflix. So yeah, I still think they have a lot of improvements to make. And from what I understand, the directors for this season, they each get 2 episodes. So we had 2 directors in this episode, and they were the same directors from the previous episode. And now for the next 2 episodes, we're going to get different directors, then we're going to get different directors again and different directors again. So hopefully they get better as it goes. I'm hoping it's just a couple of poor directors, and I hope we don't get them again. Although they did do better in this episode, but still, they're not Daredevil material if they can't get a grip quicker, and they just can't. They're taking too long. So let's see what the next directors do. But yeah, much better episode. I'm much happier coming out of this episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next one, which I will do right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to have to wait until episode 4 comes out, then I will upload my episode 3 and 4 reaction in one video. But if you're watching this over on Patreon, you'll be able to get my episode reactions as the episodes come out, and you'll get them fully uncut, unedited, and you can see my whole reaction to the entire episode. And it really helps support the channel, allows me to do what I love full time, and it allows me to communicate with you guys as well, and you guys get to ask me more questions about the episode, and you get to tell me what you think of them as well. So yep, guys, thanks a ton for watching, and I look forward to watching episode 3. Take care.